All right, everybody, welcome in. I'm WCA3 Chief Meteorologist Kevin Lighty. We are tracking some severe weather right now. A severe thunderstorm warning that has been issued for Clark and Edgar County here right now. We are taking a close look at this storm here. It's actually got a little bit of hail associated with the storm here. Here it is. It is now south of Paris, just kind of north of the Denison area, right there along Route 1, and this is where you're going to have some of that hail involved with this thunderstorm. Again, it is a severe thunderstorm warning that is in effect here for Edgar County and Clark County, more for Edgar than anything at this point. It's kind of crossed over the county line for 60-mile-an-hour winds and maybe hail to the size of 1 inch. So this storm is actually, once again, like we've had over the last few days, moving due north. So not your typical movement. So let's go ahead, and what we can do is put a little bit of a loop on this. You can kind of see the general direction that it's going. And it's actually kind of hooking a little bit east there of Route 1 and heading into maybe eventually more into Indiana, but it's definitely, and you can kind of see there, they have kind of trimmed back this warning here. So it's really the far eastern, almost fourth of Edgar County that this is going to be impacted. So you're talking about areas here east of Paris, and then right along the Indiana and Illinois state line is where you've got that potential for, again, a little bit of severe weather with this, a little bit of hail. We've had some reports. Again, there's also, with this, I want to make mention because they have also, I believe, a tornado possible tag associated with this as well. They put the tornado possible. So a quick spin up from the tornadic aspect of this is also possible, but there's definitely some hail in there and maybe even a little bit of rotation showing up on this. We're going to carefully watch that there. Right now, it is just a severe thunderstorm warning, but again, the potential is there for a quick spin up of a tornado to occur within the cell. That pink kind of purple color there, that is absolutely the hail that is within this. And I would not be surprised if there is some quarter-size hail associated with our storm that we've got. So what I'm going to do here is we're going to kind of take a closer look at this. I'm going to switch radars over here, and I'm going to kind of show you guys another view of this here before too long. And we're going to kind of see if we can spot any of the rotation. The problem is this thing's getting really kind of far away from both of the radars that we would typically kind of use. I will say this, we've got Jacob Dickey out there. That is a view in the storm tracker. He is heading towards that storm. What I'm going to do is we're going to switch things over here, and I'm going to come over on my other screen, and we're going to talk about this storm here and just kind of see what we've got in terms of that severe weather potential on this thing. And there it is, a severe thunderstorm warning on this. Okay, and here's what we've got. Essentially, our storm here, and I'm going to be able to kind of control this here from where we're located. So here's our storm that is kind of south of Paris, but you can see right here, that is your hail core. So that's going to be kind of south of Vermilion, right on the state line there as you head into Indiana. That's what we've got. But let's switch over, and we're going to try to find some of the rotation in here. And again, we're on the edge. I actually have this on the Indianapolis radar right now because, again, you got Indy over there. But you can kind of see some of these reds and greens right next to one another, but we're kind of getting on the edge of the radar information that we can get on this right now. But it's definitely something that we're watching. Again, there it is, kind of the wider view. Just kind of show you this. So here's the warning. It looks like there was some damage here. I'm just going to click down on this here, see what we've got. And it looks like some thunderstorm wind damage. Looks like some power poles were broken. That was in Marshall when this storm came through, and some tree limbs down. So then when this was down in the Marshall area, we had some damage reported from this, it sounds like. So again, looks like that we have had a pretty good little storm there that's dumped a little bit of wind, and then you've still got this hail again south of Paris. This thing is kind of moving northeast. So Oliver and Denison, you guys just had this thing kind of come through and rocking pretty good. I'm going to see if we can't, see if I can't come back over here with this. And we're going to switch things over again and see what we can see, because that's coming up through the Paris area right now, kind of east of Paris. But what I want to do is kind of back this up a few frames and kind of show you where it was. So there it was when it came through Oliver. I'm going to back it up even more and get some more radar data to kind of funnel into us here. And we'll kind of show you what it looked like when it came through Marshall. So it was a pretty good little storm there. Again, was not initially warned, but here's what we'll do. We'll kind of move this back over so we can kind of see this a little bit better. So here's the storm down here a little bit earlier. We stepped through it as it comes across there on I-70, heading northeast, little hail core. Again, probably some really strong winds were in that as it lifted back off to the north and to the east through Oliver. Okay, I bet Oliver, I wouldn't be surprised if there was some wind damage there. And now heading almost southeast of Paris and again into the Vermilion area and right along the Indiana and Illinois state line is where we've got that severe storm. Probably dumping some pretty good hail in there. That's a pretty good hail core that is showing up in that as well. And you can see that's going to be right on the state line, and that may start to curve a little bit more into the Indiana area here before too long. Because again, this warning itself technically does include Chrisman, but you can kind of see how they just really kind of cut away at this warning here. It's a very small warned area. But that's what we've got there with this severe thunderstorm warning. This thing's going to ride right along the state line. So it probably misses, places like Georgetown and whatnot. As long as it kind of keeps on this trend, this may go more into Indiana and then into Vermilion County, Indiana, as opposed to maybe Vermilion County, Illinois. But definitely still rocking through portions of Edgar County right now. Hail sizes in there. I absolutely think there's probably some 1-inch size hail, some quarter size hail associated with our storm that we've got there. So again, keeping a close eye on things. We'll see if anything from the Weather Service, if they've popped up with any other information in regards to our storm here. We'll come back over to the Weather Center as we decipher some of the information. Let's see here. They've still got the severe thunderstorm warning there. They have actually, I believe they've got some, okay, so they confirmed that there was some quarter-size hail down in Marshall when this came through earlier as well. So Marshall had some wind damage, and they actually had some 1-inch size hail. So quarter-size hail with our storm down here, heading to the north and east. And this is going to push more into Indiana now. So kind of if you're over in the Clinton, probably north of Clinton, Indiana area, you're going to start to see this storm kind of come into your location. Vermilion County there, Vermilion County, Indiana, that is. But yeah, definitely there's some pretty good hail associated with this. Over the Stratton area, there along 150, heading towards Libertyville, that purple color, that is where you're going to have probably some of that hail falling. And so you can see right there, Vermilion, it's going to be Sulphur Springs Road and North 2000th Street. That looks to be where there is some of that hail core that is definitely showing up. So if you got any reports here, let us know. I know that a lot of you are tuned in and watching here. Let us know what you are seeing in your area in terms of the potential for our severe weather. Okay, just checking on a couple of things here. Again, we are tracking severe weather here this afternoon over portions of Edgar County right now. Looks like we have pretty good lot of hail core that is showing up right over Edgar County, lifting to the north and east. And yeah, it's going to be kind of curving back more into Indiana, it looks like here before too long. Okay, just kind of reading up on some of the stuff coming into us. Looks like still got that severe thunderstorm warning that is in effect until 3:45 p.m. I anticipate they probably start to potentially trim that back if this kind of goes into Indiana a little bit more, but this thing is going to be riding right there east of Paris into the Stratton area. Definitely coming down pretty good. Some heavy rainfall showing up in Paris right now. There's your warning. Tornado possible tag, as I mentioned, showing up with this. 60-mile-an-hour winds, 1-inch size hail. They have observed probably both of these because they've had some of those trees and power lines down in Marshall. And then the tornado possible tag, and they did pick up some of that hail as this came through down in the Marshall area. So that's the only storm right now that is warned. I just want to kind of show you some of the other storms that are just starting to get going here. Right now, nothing severe with this activity here in Lincoln, down near Booty, Bethany, Dalton City. You guys have got a little bit of a storm right now, but none of those are severe right now. Out of everything that we've seen, just our storm here into Edgar County, that thing lifting there to the north and probably peeling off into Indiana, or this probably going to ride right along that state line. Let's see, if we get up here right on the corner there, you know, Ridge Farm, probably going to be just kind of east of you, as this thing probably goes more into maybe Highland, probably west of the Rockville, Indiana area. This thing's definitely taking that turn a little bit more to the east and crossing the state line. We'll see if the Weather Service in Indianapolis carries that warning over a little bit more, but definitely a strong storm. Looks like some other guys trying to get going south of that as well. So some storms down here. I know we've got some people that are watching down in Edgar County. So let us know if you get anything. That, again, that hail core is going to be to the east of you. Stratton along 150 and into Libertyville as you head into Indiana. So that's your hail core right there. That's going to be pushing out. I'm just going to kind of continue to watch our storms here. I anticipate maybe some additional warnings that could come down the pipeline here as well. There's a look at Jacob's feed once again as he is out there. He's just kind of meandering around, checking out these little pop-up storms and see if he can catch anything. So we'll continue to monitor things with him. And again, those of you asking, is this storm going to hit other locations? Pretty much no. This thing is peeling off into Indiana here. So this thing will pretty much just hang into northern and eastern portions of Edgar County here over the next 15 minutes, and then it'll get out of the way. But we have additional storms, and we're going to start watching all of these little guys here. There's another one near Mount Pulaski where they actually had some damage from last night's storms. Another one there southwest of Decatur, and then there's the other one there near Dalton City. So all of these just starting to kind of fire up here. There's going to be a little window of opportunity over the next maybe 3 to 4 hours where we could see these storms reach severe limits. Right now, severe thunderstorm warning still in effect here for Edgar County until 3:45 p.m. with that tornado possible tag associated with it. Looks like they just carried this over now into Indiana. So Vermilion County, Indiana now. So that is going to be kind of just northwest of Clinton, but that is a tiny, tiny little severe thunderstorm warning. Probably would have made that one a little bit bigger. But there it is. So that includes just near Highland, Summit Grove, and then technically northwest of Clinton, but even Clinton, you might catch kind of the edge of this. So that is now Vermilion County, Indiana, that has a severe thunderstorm warning associated with it as that cell crosses the state line and heads into Indiana. Probably just a little bit of rain there in places like Garland and Horace, Hunter, maybe Redmond there, a couple of sprinkles there. But that heaviest stuff is definitely well off to your east. Let's see if we can see any rotation in that. Again, there is, maybe kind of a little something going on in there. Tough to see, again, kind of getting on the edge of both the Lincoln and the Indianapolis radar sites. They're probably picked up a little bit better with the Indianapolis radar, which let's see if we can switch over to that real quick. Okay, we're going to take off that, bring up Indy, and we'll flip on the velocity there. And so, yeah, I mean, there was definitely a little something in there, even maybe south of that warned area. Let's see if that kind of matches up. So possibly some rotation in there. I wouldn't be surprised if there's, something trying to happen in this kind of general area down here. A strong storm nonetheless. In that little notched area. So they've trimmed back this warning even more now, it looks like. You're going to see this update here in just a second. Yeah, so now just a sliver of Edgar County now with that Hunter. And again, this thing is going to go right there along that state line into Indiana. It probably has some hail in there. Let's see, continuing the severe thunderstorm warning. Tornado possible tag, 1-inch size hail. So that's what we got with this storm here right now. Another look at Jacob's feet out there. Not 100% clear as to his exact location. Let's see if I can find something with him. He was 20 minutes out from Chrisman. So he's 20 minutes from Chrisman. East on 36 to the state line. So he is on 36. Towards Chrisman. And he'll probably miss that storm there, I'm guessing. But there's his location there. Not seeing a whole lot else. I will say this, there was also some damage earlier in Christian County near Roby. A large fully leafed tree limb snapped. That's what they're saying. Let's switch over. We'll show you some of the reports. So first off, here are your damage reports down here where we had, again, looks like on the north side of Marshall, report of power poles broken and some 3-inch tree limbs. That was around 2:47 p.m. And then we had the report of some 1-inch size hail. Looks like there, quarter size hail, 2:47 p.m. And then this other one I was just mentioning was one from earlier today. We'll back it out, come over here, right on the Christian kind of Sangamon County line. And that was also a little bit of light wind damage there. Large fully leafed tree limb snapped around 2:15 p.m. with the storms that came through. So those are the only storm reports that we've had here in our area right now. And here's a look again at the radar view of just a handful of those storms that are moving through. And our storm right now that is warned, that is peeling off into Indiana and heading east, crossing the state line, and we will be done with this here before too long. But I definitely see a nice little hail core that is in there, probably dropped some quarter-size hail some areas, and probably had some pretty strong gusty winds with it as well. And that's kind of the nature of most of these storms here today. If they kind of tap into some of the best instability that we've got, they're going to have that possibility of being able to kick out some of those strong winds, translate those down, get some wind damage. Definitely some of the best kind of shear with that is located exactly where this storm did form. And that's going to be down into right, pretty much right there in the Clark, Edgar County area. I'm not surprised that this storm went severe because it is in some of the best environment for this to occur. So it kind of matches up. So we'll continue to kind of watch that area down there and just keep a close eye on all of these storms that we've got. Again, a lot of areas not seeing a whole lot. But I would say between now and 7 p.m. is the window of opportunity that we could see some of this severe weather move through. if any of these storms. You basically just have to watch these storms, see if they strengthen at all, kind of like what this one did down here, and then just kind of keep a close eye on all of them. And that's what we're going to do between now and say 7 p.m. before things start to fade away. As the sun goes down, you lose the instability, and you're going to lose, you know, kind of the punch for these storms. All right, guys, we're just going to be keeping an eye on this activity here, and we will continue to keep you updated on what we see. Again, Jacob getting into some of that rain over there into Edgar County. If we hear anything else, we will jump back on here and chat with you. In the meantime, I'm just going to put you here on the radar and let you guys kind of watch that as that storm exits. If any other warnings get issued, we will let you know. The storm kind of peeling off again there into Indiana now, so we're just going to kind of leave you with that for the time being, and then we'll be back with you as we go throughout the rest of this afternoon and tonight.